Hi, folks. My name is Stacy Poon, and I'm a product manager here at Veritas. And with me today is Jeff Bourgeois from HubStor. Jeff?
Hi, thanks, Stacy. Yeah, Jeff Bourgeois from HubStor. I'm one of the co-founders and was the CEO at HubStor. At Veritas, I'm now the chief strategist of cloud technologies for SaaS protection. Stacy, what would be interesting is if we talk a little bit about why why HubStor was acquired by Veritas. I know that's a big question on a lot of companies' minds, especially HubStor customers, Veritas customers. Maybe we can start there.
Sure. Yes, and that's a very good question. Get asked that a lot of times. So Veritas has acquired HubStor because it's in the space of SaaS backup, right? We see when it comes to SaaS workloads, backup is still there. It's not changing, but the world of backup is evolving. And that's one of the reasons why we did acquire HubStor. HubStor is a company that focused on backup as a service. And we definitely see that that's where the market is going and what we're starting to focus on more and more. Jeff, did you want to talk a bit more about that too?
Yeah, I think it's very exciting to see HubStor fit into the Veritas portfolio because today there are some key capabilities that we bring into the Veritas product suite right on day one. But also very exciting is the future where we're taking it. Out of the gate, the big opportunity that we want to focus on is SaaS backup, SaaS data protection. And that's data that organizations are piling into places like Microsoft 365 and others, and they need a data protection solution for it. But beyond that, I think, Stacy, we're looking at a neat integration with Net Backup.
Yep, totally. Okay, that's great. Maybe, Jeff, it would be good if maybe you could share a little bit of what you see happening in the world of backup in this market and with enterprise customers.
One of the exciting things, beyond the shift to the cloud and the general adoption of cloud and the transformation that brings with just backup in general, there's sort of a new emerging area, which is the concern that organizations have with their data in SaaS applications. So, previously, early days in cloud adoption, as organizations adopted software as a service, the idea was, well, the SaaS provider has the data backed up and they have a high availability architecture. I've got 5 nines, of uptime. And so life's good. I don't need to worry about data protection or backup anymore. But the thinking has shifted very recently, and it seems to have gone mainstream that organizations, IT leaders are realizing that it's not a true backup unless it's a copy of the data that is segregated and I own it and I control it, right? If I don't own and control that backup copy, is it really a backup? Because I don't have the full flexibility of the types of restores that I may need to do in all scenarios. I'm not in control of any failover or usage of that backup copy. And that, I think, is the dividing line that where we see a shift in the market. It's that more and more people are realizing that my data in SaaS applications needs a true backup copy that I own and control. If I don't have that, I'm at the mercy of the SaaS provider and the native capabilities that they provide. And more organizations are bumping into scenarios where users have maliciously or accidentally deleted data in different ways, and they're not always able to recover from it unless, of course, they have a true SaaS backup.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Maybe we could spend a little bit more time now just maybe going over a little bit about the HubStor product. So what is the HubStor solution?
Well, HubStor is a SaaS solution itself. And I get sort of the irony. You might think, well, weren't you just talking about the need to back up SaaS applications and you're going to propose to solve this with a SaaS? And the answer is yes. We have a very neat delivery model for backup as a service, data management as a service. HubStor itself is a born in the cloud, PaaS native solution, and it was born on the Azure cloud, and that's how we deliver the solution on Microsoft Azure.
What are some of the key enterprise capabilities that are differentiators for our customers with the HubStor solution?
Great question. Well, HubStor's taken a different approach to software as a service. When we talk about enterprise adoption of the cloud, quite often you'll hear organizations offering SaaS under a multi-tenant model. And with HubStor, we have an enterprise-grade single-tenant model. And what that provides is significant flexibility, okay? And one of the ways that this manifests is that we can take advantage of any of the Azure regions around the world. We can also scale out for large organizations that want to maintain data sovereignty, data residency, and use multiple Azure regions in their deployment and have one subscription, one bill, one source of truth, one central administration. And so we can do a multi-geo scale out, which is pretty neat. The ability to take advantage of the elasticity of the cloud is really unlimited with our hosting model. We can allow organizations to scale up and scale down, scale up for performance and scalability, and identify opportunities to cost optimize and scale down compute and resources that we maybe don't need. So there's some neat features there. We'll talk a little bit about security in a bit. But that's also, of course, another key area of differentiation with HubStor's hosting model as well.
Yes, indeed it is. I know I get asked a lot of questions around security, especially in the space, anything cloud or SaaS based, that definitely comes up a lot. So with that said, can you share a little bit more about the HubStor solution as it relates to security?
Yeah, let's go there. Security is indeed a big topic. And when we're talking to organizations about backing up their data in SaaS applications, oftentimes it's really sensitive data, right? It's communications data. It can be, all sorts of very important mission critical documents. And with the rise of data privacy regulations, data privacy laws, it's much more sensitive now than ever before. And when we're talking about backup solutions, they need to align and have policy controls to synchronize with the source applications around, for things like GDPR. With HubStor's hosting flexibility, though, and the design of the solution, the PaaS native approach, it's very tunable, you could say, in terms of the flexibility we have to do security hardening. There's a very tight integration with Azure AD, and there's a lot of compliance controls that we have on our side, like SOC 2 Type 2 compliance, and we're building out that portfolio of security and data privacy and compliance controls that we as a SaaS provider adhere to. So the security depth in HubStor, in many cases, we have Fortune 100 customers, and when you're doing cloud for big organizations like that, they themselves have all sorts of compliance and security controls in place. And as a SaaS provider, you fall into those requirements. And HubStor has been able to deliver very strong security posture, even in the most rigorous environments.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for sharing all the wonderful information about the HubStor solution.
Well, thank you too, Stacy. It's been a pleasure to share more information about it. Of course, anytime we're talking about cool, new, exciting technologies, the question is, how do I get my hands on it? How do I see it?
Right.
Of course, don't be shy. Reach out to us. Contact your Veritas rep or your HubStor rep, or visit us at veritas.com. And we're available to schedule a demonstration or a proof of concept at any time.